So many call it media bias. Others call it propaganda. I call it agenda-driven reporting. It's all the same, folks, and it's a problem in America if we're facing it now more than any time in our history. Agenda-driven reporting threatens the republic. We've become a divided society, left versus right, parents versus teachers, black versus white. Things happen, and we rely on the media to report on these things in a fair way with an unbiased eye. It matters because the media has a job of delivering the facts of the events and allow us the opportunity to decide for ourselves what to believe is real and what to believe is fake news. Somehow recently, the media has taken the role of deciding for us what is real and what is fake, and more times than not, the media has delivered elements with an agenda. CNN should be held accountable for their agenda-driven reporting on the riots of last summer. The idea that rioting in the streets, smashing windows, and burning buildings was, quote, mostly peaceful protests is an insult to viewers.
What you are seeing now, these images came and come in stark contrast to what we saw over the course of the daytime hours in Kenosha and into the early evening, which were largely peaceful demonstrations in the face of law enforcement. It wasn't until night fell that things began to get a little bit more contentious.
Burning buildings behind the man, the CNN reporter says, largely peaceful protests. MSNBC, with the same agenda, delivered their agenda-driven reporting from the same burning streets, also hoping to soften the outrage for the thugs burning down our businesses and neighborhoods.
There is no ability to bring anybody in here to solve this problem. So I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not, generally speaking, unruly, but fires have been started.
Ali Velshi, this guy wants a job every night on that network, saying that it's mostly peaceful. He's got a burning building behind him. The agenda was to provide cover for a couple of groups CNN and MSNBC wanted to protect, namely Black Lives Matter and Antifa. For whatever reason, their agenda was to be there for BLM and Antifa to try and soften the blowback for the horrors we were seeing with our own eyes on television. The left tried and succeeded in applying a race card to almost every event in America. Agenda-driven reporting tried to paint Donald Trump and everyone who voted for him as a racist. We were told to believe almost every story thrown at us, no matter how nonsensical it may be.
Support for Smollett exploding online from Hollywood A-listers to political heavyweights. Speaker of the House,
that story about Jussie Smollett was so outrageous, most sensible people would dismiss it as a lunatic looking for a few minutes of fame at the end of a dying acting career, unless, of course, the story fit the media's agenda that Trump supporters were racist and acting out in the streets against innocent black people, just trying to walk home at 4 in the morning holding a Subway sandwich. We were told that the attackers, they're wearing red MAGA hats, were right-wingers. Oh, but we should ignore the facts that the attackers, were in fact black. We were told they threw a noose around Jussie Smollett's neck and berated him and beat him.
And then I heard Empire. So I turned around and I said, did you just say to me? And I see the attacker masked. And he said, this MAGA country punches me right in the face.
Oh, and wasn't it odd that Jussie walked home all the way home with the noose around his neck and never dropped his Subway sandwich the whole way down during the attack? No, the agenda-driven media wants us to suspend all rational judgment, or we're clearly racist. It's the same thing that happened in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Within hours of the events of August 25th, 2020, the media had Kyle branded a Trump supporter, a white supremacist, a vigilante, just lurking for victims. On August 25th, the morning after the killings, the New York Times, called the so-called paper of record, wrote, the authorities were investigating whether the white teenager who was arrested was a part of a vigilante group. His social media accounts appeared to show intense affinity for guns, law enforcement, and President Trump. Now, white teenager, why did they write that, and why is that relevant? Kyle shot 3 people the night before, that's true. The details are still fuzzy, but one thing we did know at the time of publication of that New York Times piece, the 3 people shot were also white. But that wasn't spelled out by the Times. Again, agenda-driven reporting. The agenda there was clearly feed into the racial tensions that were bleeding and leading the news coverage. That same narrative defined the Rittenhouse case from the get-go, all the way up to and including the reporting on the actual case. Kyle Rittenhouse was convicted in the courts of the agenda-driven reporting media, and soon in the hearts and minds of the lunatics looking to blame white conservatives for everything they could, applying a racist theme to every event, even when it's a white teen who's involved in shooting 3 people he says were attacking him, all are white. Nowhere was it possible that a very naive, possibly dangerous teenager who put himself in harm's way ultimately shot assailants in self-defense because, although entirely unfortunate, that would also be legal. It didn't fit the narrative of the agenda-driven reporting. Instead, we were fed a steady diet of preconceived notions where the media had to find and manipulate facts to make those sets of facts fit their narrative of Kyle Rittenhouse as a Trump supporter, right-winger, gun lover, vigilante, out on a bender looking to kill some poor BLM and Antifa peaceful protesters. We're in deep trouble in America, folks. We can't allow agenda-driven reporting to decide what the truth is. We have to push back. We must say no to biased reporting. We need healthy debate, not agenda-driven reporting. Debate means all sides are considered. There's no rush to judgment, a la the Steele dossier, the lab leak theory, Jussie Smollett, and now Kyle Rittenhouse. In all these cases, the media went with a narrative first, and then they declared their conclusions to be fact, and finally they filled in the blanks with evidence that supported their conclusions. And in each case, their conclusions were wrong. The Steele dossier was not accurate. Trump didn't collude with the Russians. The exact opposite was true. The dossier was garbage. Steele lied, and Adam Schiff is a liar because he claimed to have evidence supporting the Steele dossier, which he never showed. The coronavirus did leak from that China lab, and it turns out we who pointed that out last year aren't really racists. Jussie Smollett is a liar, and there is a chance Kyle Rittenhouse shot assailants in self-defense. Very, very possible chance. Fox used to use a slogan, "We report, you decide." Interesting that they abandoned that slogan. But I have a version of that I use, and I believe we have to stick to it. We debate, you decide, because we need debate. We need healthy debate. And what we don't need is an agenda-driven media.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest-growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.